All right, for our variable data project, we're eventually going to be building something that has multiple alterable fields based on a spreadsheet of data gathered through a survey. So we'll be thinking about an idea that can populate sort of customizable fields within an image. So I'll show you the example that I made with mine. This is an InDesign project. I picked a rotating image area. I also have a customizable tag for a person's name, and I have this little message design that I have going on here. So I made kind of a fictitious restaurant thing, and I wanted to have this edgy sort of idea. So I had the message, you have concerning tastes. You've been accused of eating a little too. And then this field is going to be customizable. So I have Alpha Wolf in this example, but many we can walk through. And then a final tagline. So there's really the three areas. And what I tried to do was um, categorize the custom text in this message to align with the type of food that someone identified liking to eat. So in this case, kind of tongue-in-cheek, raw meat with Alpha Wolf. Anyhow, this has been compiled already. So here's an example from a test setup that I did where it's going to go through and change based on what submissions were given. The imagery will change, the name will change, and the customizable text will change throughout the piece. So we'll look at the survey approach, checking the data out, and then formatting the data ahead of doing any of this. Then there will be two other videos that show you how to actually do variable data text and variable data imagery in InDesign. So we'll start with the survey tool that I'm using and that we'll use for our class. We're using Qualtrics, which is provided for free in our university. This, you could use any survey tool like a SurveyMonkey or other tool like that. The only problem you'd run into is the export format, which typically needs to be CSV. So let's take a look at this. Here's the survey that I made, and can preview it quick if you want to see what it is, but went in and asked some common things. We have first name, last name, email, street address, city, zip code. All could be useful for sending some sort of personalized message through various channels, state included. And then I went through and I just had 6 choices. The idea is these are the 6 choices that would tie in with my variable imagery and my variable text title in the message design. So in my case, if you had to choose which main dish on our menu is your favorite, we had cheeseburger, corn chowder, thin crust pizza, salamander sandwich, gluten-free salad sandwich, and then raw meat mania. So that was basically the survey that was completed. Let me go back to, let me close the preview and go back to this. So if you sent this out to people and they were to take it in whatever format you sent it to them, just via email, via social media channels, maybe on a print piece as a shortened URL that they could access the survey. There's a lot of ways they could get it. You're going to end up with a bunch of data afterwards. So here are the reports, all of the names that were entered, all of their preferences for or all their last names, their emails, street address, city, zip codes, states, and then we had preferences for main dishes that were selected throughout this as well. So this is just a summary of data. What we want to get is a CSV file. So up here on the right, I'm going to go check out share and report, and you have a lot of formats that you can work with, but I just chose a straight CSV comma separated output because that's what you would want to start as to then feed the data to InDesign. So let's go check out my CSV file. Here's the file that I exported out, and I'll just open it up in Microsoft Excel, and this is what comes in, a whole bunch of stuff. So you might have to do data cleaning depending on what you're working on. And if I look at mine, really nothing starts until about here, this portion of the spreadsheet. So there's my first name, my last name, my email, street address, city, etc. So I'll import data. I'm going to clean this up a little bit to do a couple of things. I'm going to clean it up so that I can one, identify the custom image that I want to send, because right now these are just whichever image chat or whichever food categories they chose. And two, I'm going to add a customized text to replace that text in it. So what I'll do first is just clean out everything that I don't need and then go through that data cleaning process. So I'm going to delete all of this, and I'm going to do this, you know, kind of crudely. Let's just delete those cells. I'll shift all the cells left. So the intent is you don't know necessarily a lot about Microsoft Excel. So I'm going to do this in a crude fashion. And I'm just going to delete everything that I don't want. So I'll go in and delete all that. These import ID tags, I'm not going to use those for what I'm doing. And I'll probably go through and customize some of these. So first name, last name, I'll keep email, street address, city, and you can span these out. There's ways to automate this, but I'll just do it manually right now. So span it out. My zip code, I'll probably just rename this state. And then I'll call this dish preference or dish pref for now. There we go. Now, this data has all been consolidated and updated. Let me take out that last little line there. I'll move everything up. I'll move the entire spreadsheet up. All right. And I'm just going to do a save as right now. And I'm going to save this on my desktop as my customer service example survey. And I'll call this data cleaned. So this is kind of ready to go. I have what I want. I know what I want to manipulate. Now from this point, I'm going to go customize it for what I want to do in InDesign.